This is what you can do about taking control over your own health. A podcast for people interested in understanding, exploring why we get sick, as well as in learning how to create bodies that are healthy, strong, fit, and disease resistant. I'm Sean McClennan. I am your host. I'm also a certified personal trainer, an author, and health and fitness enthusiast. Thank you for joining me today. All right. So now in this podcast, I want to talk about, I want to ask you, do you have a health routine? And we'll just leave it at that. I was going to put another part on there, but I'm not going to do that, so I don't get ahead of myself. But before we get into that, the featured book for today is my book called 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. So you can have the best exercise plan in the world, but if your diet is off, one thing is guaranteed: you will not see results. So in 8 weeks to transform your diet and your health, I've created an easy to follow set of eating habits for you to adopt over 8 weeks. So I give you 8 weeks to adopt these habits to boost your health, promote fat loss, which everybody seems to want, and get the most out of your exercise regimen. So when you finish this workbook, you will finally know how to eat to get results. And let's face it, that is usually the sticking point. A lot of times we'll start the exercise, but we don't get results because we never eat right. So get your copy, look in the description, and you can get a copy of your book there. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this episode. Do you have a health routine? Now, most of the time, from my experience, people don't have a routine at all. Now, the question is, what do I mean by a health routine? When I ask you if you have a health routine, I mean, do you have a routine of health-related practices that you engage in every day to ensure that you are moving your body toward health and away from disease? Now, again, most of the people that I know that I've dealt with don't necessarily have any semblance of routine. And I think a lot of people actually do have, like, maybe they, drink a glass of water when they get up, or maybe they have a routine of sleeping well. That can be for sure part of a healthy routine. Some people walk every day, walk every morning, or walk every evening after dinner. Some people have a routine of going to pick up basketball 3 days a week. And that's good. But here's the thing. You need a health routine. You need a set of practices, things that you are doing every single day to improve your health. Because here's the thing. And we already kind of know this intuitively, but yet we need a reminder. Just because you do something one time doesn't mean you're going to see any results. Okay? This is what happens to a lot of us. We go and do like a dance class, Zumba class, one time, and we're like, man, that was great, and that's it. And then we get disappointed that we don't see results. Or we do, I don't know, a juice cleanse. You go and you buy juices, and you drink gallons of juice, and you do it for about 2 days, and then you get discouraged because you didn't see results. You lost a little bit of water weight, but then you gain it right back. As a matter of fact, you gain more. But the reason why is because you don't have a routine. Here's the thing. Your body doesn't change by events that you do every now and then. It's just like the formation of mountains. If you remember from geology, whatever kind of science class in grade school, if you recall, mountain ranges are formed over very, very long periods of time. From if I remember correctly, the movement over a long period of time of plates. What's it called? The tectonic plates. That's not my expertise, y'all. I'm a personal trainer, and I'm an engineer, and so that's not my full expertise. But anyway, over time, those tectonic plates, over many, many years and decades, and perhaps even centuries, they move on each other and they build the mountains. Okay, it happens over a long period of time. Constant pressure. What about the formation of rivers? Rivers are formed by the constant wearing away of dirt, silt, rock, by water. Because water, the movement of water is constantly eroding, constantly. Okay? And so it may not look like it's doing something if you go look at a river one day, but it's consistently, indiscernibly wearing away a path, creating new pathways. But it doesn't do that in one day. Here's the thing. Say, for example, you decide to go join, again, I use Zumba. You decide to join a Zumba class. And you do it one day, you're exhausted, you're sore and everything. Did you experience change? You actually did. But it's not noticeable. It's just not. What happened is you burned calories, you broke your muscles down, so over the time that you're not exercising, they're going to recover and build back. But it's going to be indiscernible. Okay? So it's going to be at all that change happens at like a micro level. When you do it consistently, you give it a time to catch up. Me, for example, I was telling one of my friends how, these days I can crank out, probably about 20 pull-ups, 20 chin-ups or whatever. But it wasn't like that all the time. So when I got started, I could only do about 2 rusty, crusty looking chin-ups or pull-ups at a time. Range of motion was horrible, and I was straining something serious. But now I can pull up great. But this was after months and months and months and months and months of me trying and trying and trying. But what did I do? I developed a workout routine. I set a workout program for myself, and I did it 3 days a week. Every day. I mean, every one of those days. Each of the 3 days, I was going and I was working on my pull-ups and my chin-ups. Again and again and again. And I didn't even change my workout. Contrary to popular suggestion that we are to change up our workouts a lot, I didn't, because I was tired of like not seeing results, and I was like, I just need to do one thing for a long period of time. So that's what I did. And then I turned around one day, I was breaking 10, breaking 15, using the weight belt, cracking 20. But this was because I had a routine. I kept on coming back. I kept on revisiting. And what happened is that micro level change built on itself, built on itself, built on itself. And then it began to manifest. And what I mean is it was already happening, but it accumulated. So I could see it eventually. It's just like people, whenever they go to lose weight and they actually do have a consistent exercise and healthy eating lifestyle, and they may not necessarily notice it at first, but maybe 2 weeks later somebody's like, oh, you looking good, what are you doing? Outsiders notice first, then you might start to notice your clothes are getting looser and different things like that. That happens with a routine, with a consistent routine. Okay? So now let me give you some ideas on how to set your routine. So your routine, of course, needs to have exercise in it. It needs to have healthy eating in it. It needs to have good bedtime in it. It needs to have water consumption in there. And there's some other things in there that you can you can kind of like decide on your own that'll kind of be like icing on the cake. But I just give you an example of my stuff. Some of my routines I am still working on, but some of them I'm pretty solid on. So I get up in the morning, and I drink a little bit of water. I don't drink like a whole lot. I just drink a couple of gulps of water just to kind of get my mouth freshened up. I spend 5 minutes deep breathing. If you need if you need something to help you do some deep breathing, by the way, I have a video. I'll try to link to that in the description. Then I spend some time in prayer and meditation. Again, some of these routines I'm kind of working on developing a little solidly. I also have affirmations that I do, um, including affirmations for my health to kind of help to get me in the mindset of a person who is healthy. I have exercise routines where I have at least one time in the day where I'll just get down on the floor in the midst of my work and practice the exercise move that I'm working on, which right now is the L sit. I'm working to develop that. Um, at 11 o'clock, I go out and do some like a more formal exercise routine that shouldn't take me any more than about 15 to 20 minutes. These days, kind of been jump rope. Then I stretch. I forgot to mention that after I do my prayer and all that kind of stuff, I'll go take a walk for about 15 minutes. 5 o'clock every day, PM, I'll go and do like a longer exercise routine that'll take me about a half hour. In the evening time, I stretch. Um, what else? I'm still deciding on whether or not I do deep breathing. I do take a little bit of supplementation, like probiotic and fish oil. Um, what else? But all of these things, and I also am trying to get more so in the habit of after I do my first exercise routine, the one that's at 11 o'clock, then I take a cold shower to kind of like, cool my body back down and kind of, clean up and then kind of get the health benefits that come with that, which I'll definitely record a podcast on that one day. But I admit some of those things I haven't been doing as consistently. It's like I'm still working on developing those habits. And I've kind of been, if I'm honest, I've been allowing myself to kind of fall into a default mode. But no excuses. That's on me. That's on me because I'm kind of allowing myself to operate in an old mindset. But anyhow, some of the other habits, are more entrenched such that if I don't do them, like my exercise stuff, I feel like I'm missing something. It's a part of who I am. Okay. So those are some ideas, some things. I guess I'll also say, my wife and I, we cook probably most days. Um, and that it definitely helps us to kind of eat a little cleaner than we normally would. What else? What else do we do? And I'm sure other things will come to my mind. Now, I've said a lot here just to kind of throw out and give you ideas. Now, my goal is to be in bed by 10:30, and that's something that I have to be transparent. I've done pretty poorly on. Here recently, I've kind of more so kind of buckled down, and it's been more so because I've tried to do some work in the evening time, and especially when you try to do work on an electronic device that almost never works because you get on the internet and get distracted. Um, but yeah, I've thrown a lot of different things out here. Now, I didn't throw all this stuff out here for you to try to do it all yourself. What you need to do is you kind of need to decide what your goal is for your health. Okay, and you do want to be overall healthy. So I will say, if your goal is overall a healthier body, then you already know you need to be making sure that you're moving your body. You need to be making sure that you consume a diet that is like largely just natural foods. Um, not eating too much, not eating too late, that type of thing. Getting plenty of sleep, plenty of water, that type of thing. So it needs to be kind of comprehensive. Now, if your goal is to lose weight, then you're going to want to adjust maybe the amount of food that you're eating, maybe by intermittent fasting. You're going to want to adjust the type of food you're eating by maybe lowering the high energy foods that you consume, like breads and stuff like that. You're going to be wanting to have a routine of more exercise. So you may not walk 15 minutes like I do in the morning. You may walk 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Now, look, if you just had the thought that you don't really have time for it, Like people always say, we make time for the things that we find important. There is time. I know myself, I have often, and this will not be my testimony in the near future, but I've often wasted a lot of time on the internet. A lot of time. Okay? And then, then it's like, man, I don't have time. But if I'm honest, I do. It's just mismanagement of time. I don't know exactly what you got going on, so I don't profess to know that. But like, also, like I heard somebody say, everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. And sometimes it's that the people who are more successful, they make better use of that time. Okay? So just think about that. Make time for your health. Because if you don't have your health, then all the other stuff pretty much doesn't matter anymore. Okay? So develop a routine. Develop a routine because it's a routine that's going to give you results. It's not going to be a one-time thing. It's not going to be you doing a 5K one time. It's not going to be you eating kale one time, or drinking matcha green tea or eating a handful of almonds or blueberries. It's not going to be any of those type of things. It's going to be whatever you develop a routine, a habit of doing. Which essentially means if you want to sum it up, if you want to have a certain type of health, you have to become that type of person. You don't just kind of focus so much on doing the stuff. You have to become that type of person. So you develop a routine and just really ingrain that into your being. This is who you are. You understand? Hopefully that's understandable what I mean. Become that. Develop the routine. Don't worry. And if you need to, because this is what I did. If you need to, definitely get motivation from influencers and stuff like that. People who maybe inspire you to be healthier. But sometimes you need to cut that stuff off. And you need to focus on your lane. You need to focus on your one or two things that you're developing. Like if you are intermittent fasting, you're not eating after 8 o'clock, and then you're walking 30 minutes a day, and you're developing that routine. Just lock into that. Hold to that. Okay? And then maybe you can build from there. And just shut out all the other information coming in, because sometimes other information, extra information is not helpful. It's discouraging. It's distracting. Okay? Trust me, I know that from my own experience with my own body. Okay, so anyhow, develop a routine. Develop a routine. If you have any other questions about, developing a routine, how you might do that type of thing, leave a comment. I want to hear your questions, and what kind of things you feel are roadblocks to helping you develop a routine that will help you to successfully become the healthier person that you desire to be. One more thing, and then I'm going to let this be it for real. The United States is plagued with lifestyle-caused disease. Lifestyle-caused disease is disease caused by lifestyle. Your lifestyle is the way that you live every day. It's like your routine. So all that means is most of these diseases that we're plagued with here in America are diseases of routine. It's things that we are used to doing all the time that are just over time breaking our bodies down and creating disease states. Okay? So you have to intentionally decide to practice a healthy routine. It's not going to happen just because you hope it will. It's going to happen when you make your mind up and you start a routine. You become that. Okay? It becomes who you are. You do it again and again and again and again. And if you feel like you're somebody who, but I'm just going to give up. How about affirming yourself? And what I mean is, tell yourself that you're not going to give up. Start slow. Start with walking or something like that. But affirm yourself. Don't be negative to yourself, because all you're going to do is reinforce what you don't want. So don't say, all I'm gonna do is just like drop the ball. Like, don't say that. Even if you've done that before, just start with one thing and keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. Keep on going. Just develop the routine. You can. I know you're scared to commit, but you can do it. Okay? All right. I could go on, but I'm going to let this be. It's nighttime, me recording this anyway, so I need to start getting ready for my night routine. But if you found this helpful, I invite you to subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment, about your healthy routine or your questions about developing a healthy routine. And make sure you get a copy of the book that is featured in this podcast, 8 Weeks to Transform Your Diet and Your Health. Okay? Yeah, that pretty much does it. Again, subscribe now. Just subscribe, y'all. Make sure you like and share this episode. And let me let you guys go. Remember that your doctor is not responsible for your health. You are. God bless you.